Yeah, hi, Future Vocal Strike here. Um, I completely forgot to talk about the tertiary modes and how it works in this game. And I meant to talk about it in this episode. So, uh, what uh basically what the tertiary modes are is that they're like a third function for the guns. Of course, granted, not every single gun has them. How most tertiary modes are activated is by holding down the right bumper and pressing left trigger. Nowhere in the game does it actually tell you this, except for maybe in the instruction booklet of the original copy of Perfect Dark Zero. And even then, some of the tertiary modes for the gun, some of the tertiary functions for the guns are actually shut off in the campaign. So they can only be used in the PvP multiplayer. And honestly, most of them are useless. You never need to use the tertiary functions. All you really need to worry about using is the secondary and primary functions of the different weapons, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I just thought I'd bring it up since it is a mechanic of the game. I just keep forgetting to bring it up throughout not only the LP, but also in this bonus episode because I never use it. So, with that, on to the beginning of this actual episode. What's up, guys? I'm Vocal Strike, and welcome to the bonus episode of Let's Play Perfect Dark Zero. Last time, we put a stop to Zhang Li's plans and finished the campaign. This time, we're going to be talking about all the stuff that we did not talk about in the campaign, such as any weapons we missed, multiplayer, and achievements. So, let's start off with the co-op. How co-op works in this game is that it's a lot like Halo, where, more specifically Halo 3, where player 1 is always the protagonist, in this case Joanna Dark. Player 2 will be jumping around between 3 different characters depending on what mission you are playing. And those 3 characters are Chandra, Jack, and Jonathan. So there will never be any 2 Joannas. So let's go ahead and cover the weapons that we missed. And we're going on agent because it doesn't matter. First, let's cover these 3 first. The Hot Boomerang, the Viper Blade, and the Multi-Mine.
Let's start with that spider bot up there. It's locked down the door for repairs. No time to hang about.
The
Shoot
Hot
it and get
Boomerang.
out.
The Hot Boomerang. Oh, go away notification, I don't like you. The Hot Boomerang, as you would suggest, is a boomerang. You throw it and it does damage, and it can come back to you,
What is it with those things?
even though you are limited to
Guess you
5
better take them
boomerangs.
out too.
The secondary function of the Hot Boomerang is a special type of shield that covers you. This does not protect you from bullets or melee attacks, but it protects you from explosives and energy weapons, making dealing with Mayhem's Phantoms and basically those cloaked enemies with the plasma rifles a little bit easier. Okay, let's get rid of both of you.
And the other. Okay, get going.
The Multi-Mine. The Multi-Mine, normally, you just throw it, and then you wait for some unfortunate soul to walk over it, and it'll explode. But the secondary function of the Multi-Mine is that you throw it, and then press left trigger to detonate it. remotely. You cannot just simply detonate it through by using the normal right trigger function. So I tossed the right trigger right now, and as you can see, it's not going to detonate. It will only detonate when someone's walking over it. Now finally, onto the Viper Blade. The Viper Blade is the only melee weapon outside of your fists.
Crouch and sneak beneath it.
The blade does not break, nor does the blade dull.
You're kidding. All this security just to protect wooden crates?
And it does 3 attacks when you mash the right trigger. And it is also really powerful. The runes on the sword is also your cooldown meter for it. It's for its secondary function, which is a special type of shield that protects you from melee attacks and bullets. When those runes become fully red, that means the sword's on a cooldown. When the runes become blue and you hear that snake sound, that rattlesnake sound, then that means you can use its ability again. There is also one other function.
Through that sensor field. Dive through it. You'll be okay. You make it look easy. Dodging's great for avoiding enemy fire. They can't get a lock on you.
There's also one other function when it comes to the fists. You can either do a standard melee attack to do a standard melee attack, which is weaker than the sword, or you can press right bumper, which will disarm enemies and knock guns out of and knock the weapons out of their hands. This actually can make it really easy to get a hold of a certain gun, but it's also a little bit risky since you do have to get up close. Okay, on to the final weapon. And this would be a better mission to showcase it. And that is the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher has 4 rockets that you cannot reload yourself or get any more ammo for. It has a scope and normal rocket, and it fires like a normal rocket launcher that you would expect. But its secondary function is a remote control rocket that you can detonate on control. Even though the thing does not turn on a dime. Now let's move on to the multiplayer. But start off with the options. Player setup. Go to me, and you see that there is the term game character here. This is used for the multiplayer. You see, you don't really make a custom character in multiplayer. You choose a set of characters that are in that were in the campaign. So if you have not played through the campaign, this actually does provide a bit of spoilers. Your choices are Joanna Dark, Mayhem, Jonathan, Jack Dark, Killian, and Chandra. The combat arena is the multiplayer, and there are 3 different ways to play multiplayer. There is split screen, which you connect up to 4 players on the same console. System link, which you engage in combat over a local area network by connecting multiple Xbox 360s. And then there's Xbox Live, challenge the world in multiplayer online servers. As far as to my knowledge, these servers are... I am currently not connected to Xbox Live at the moment. As far as to my knowledge, the servers, I'm not sure if the servers are actually still up, or if they're active, and even if they, I'd be very surprised considering that this was back in 2005 is when it was released, and it's currently 2021 as of this recording. Currently April 2021. But I believe it is currently April 12th. Yeah, April 12th, 2021. So even if the servers are still active and not shut down, no one's playing them anyway. There are two different types of gameplay. There is Deathmatch, which is more of your standard casual games, and Dark Ops, which is more team-focused competitive games. Deathmatch is composes of kill count, free-for-all. May the best player win. It's essentially free-for-all Slayer. Team kill count, which is the team variant of kill count. Capture the flag, which speaks for itself. Territorial gains. Take and hold the objective locations to win the game. I believe that this is more or less capture the hill. There are also multiple levels. You can either choose random map, or you can choose the subway, urban, desert, temple, old town, tower, trench, rooftops, plaza, gas plant, facility, ruin, and that's it. You can also choose like how big or how small you want the maps to be. You can choose what type of weapons you want to use, or you can actually customize the weapons that you want to put in. So like if you don't like any of these presets, you can go to custom and customize and then just go from there. And you can choose between multiple different slots. There's starting weapon slots 1 through 5. These are not weapon slots that you will start out. Your starting weapon is the weapon you will start out with in the multiplayer match. The weapon slots are is what determines the weapons and items that drop in the map, that spawn on the map that you have to find. You can determine how many bots there are between 0 and 15. You can determine how the bots act and their difficulty. So like if you want them to only target the player with the least kills, you can. You want them to be more randomized, you can do that. The different bot personalities is Vanilla, a regular bot with no specific personality. Ghost, invisible except when firing weapons. Judge, attacks the player with the most kills. Bully, attacks the player with the least kills. Venge, attacks the last person that killed them. Feud, chooses a new random target when it spawns and hunts them down. Prey, attacks players that have low health or armor. Or, you can have all that be random. You can also choose like what their difficulty is. There is Agent, Secret Agent, Perfect Agent, and Dark Agent. Dark Agent is essentially the hardest difficulty in the game. It is actually harder than Perfect Agent. If Agent is easy, Secret Agent is normal, Perfect Agent is hard, Dark Agent is essentially legendary. So if you thought Perfect Dark Zero was hard, apparently there is a greater challenge if you didn't think it was hard enough. You can determine time limit, point limits, and there's even an advanced option. Dark Ops is a little bit different. There is Eradication. Wipe out the other team before they do the same to you. Essentially kind of like what I've seen with Counter-Strike, where if you die, you are dead for good. That's it. And you keep fighting until one team is completely wiped out. Onslaught. Take turns defending and attacking a base. Hold out as long as you can. This is essentially invasion. Infection. Free-for-all. The infected players get points if they infect everyone. The uninfected players get points if they survive the round. Sabotage. taking it turns to protect your opponent while the other team tries to destroy it. It's essentially one-man assault. Everything else is mostly the same. Advanced options can, in this game, since this is more competitive, you can determine base assignments. You can choose what weapons not to allow. You can choose the amount of money that players begin the game with. You can choose how different appearances are assigned to the players. You can even turn on and off friendly fire and team auto balance. In team games, you can also determine team setup, which lets you choose 2 different teams that you want to play as in the games. There's Team Dark, Team Datadyne, Team Carrington, Team Trinity, Team Killian, and Team Henchman. Team Dark is, of course, Chandra, Jack, and Joanna, the freelancers that you meet at the very start of the game. Team Datadyne is characters like Mayhem and the Goons, and the different Goons. Carrington is the Carrington soldiers, Jonathan, and Joanna Dark. Team Trinity is the scientists as well as the guards from the guard soldiers from the Trinity missions. Team Killian is, of course, Killian and his henchmen. Team Henchman is literally just a mixture of all the different henchmen all rolled into one. So you can decide what teams do what. And before we talk about the achievements, the intro song that plays at the start, that plays when you begin this game, is known as what's it called? Glitter Girl by Morrison Poe. And there is an actual music video, official music video of that song. I will link that in the description if you guys ever want to check it out. And I will see you over at the achievement list to to show off the achievements and to discuss what you need to do. And I'm back. The reason why I don't really have a lot of achievements in this game is because on Xbox One, you need to be connected to the internet in order to get achievements. And my Xbox One is not the most reliable system when it comes to online connectivity, and I wasn't really too worried about it. And all the achievements are actually pretty straightforward. You need to complete the campaigns on every single difficulty, from Agent to Perfect Agent to Secret Agent to Dark Agent. You need to do the same with co-op missions on all difficulty. Play 10 to 1,000 deathmatch games. Play 10 to 1,000 Dark Ops games. Get 10 to 1,000 kills in kill count. Get 10 to 1,000 kills in team kill count. Capture 10 to 100 flags in Capture the Flag. Get 10 to 1,000 players infected in Infection. Hold 10 to 100 territories in the King of the Hill. Survive 10 to 1,000 rounds in Infection. Get 10,000 to 100,000 credits property destroyed. Survive 10 to 100 minutes in multiplayer, which I believe is I want to say Infection or Assault. Get 10 to 1,000 sniper kills. Get 10 to 1,000 headshot kills. Get 10 to 1,000 melee kills. And get 10 to 1,000 explosives kills. You also need to complete 1 to 5 co-op missions on Dark Agent. 1 to 5 solo missions on Dark Agent. So, yeah, obviously the hardest ones to really do is the campaign ones, considering that the campaign is not always easy or kind. Co-op may be slightly easier. And as for getting the different kills in the games, as far as to my knowledge, you do not need to play any of the online servers in order to get the rest of these achievements at all. You can literally just play solo or split screen with bots with other people. And it doesn't even say that you need to win. You just need to play. So, with that, that is Perfect Dark Zero. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the LP. I really hope to actually get better as time goes on. Like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And I will see you guys in the next Let's Play. See ya!